track him.
Finn, are you crazy? We can't track Dylan down because it's too dangerous and he may even found out what we're talking about.
Do you really think that this is necessary, that my husband is dead? No. Huh? Do you really think he's dead, right?
Look, can we please just get on with this already? Edward is not dead. Or at least he isn't.
Tell us where the book is, or we will beat the hell out of you.
Bring it on. I'm concerned that Dylan may do something else, and we need to stop him.
Then how many times do I have to tell you this? We cannot stop Dylan. He's a creeper that tries to scare people or even harm them for dumb reasons.
All clear.
Yup.
We are working with everything we can to solve the...
This was not an accident, okay? Edward was murdered. What are you all looking at? Can't you guys understand that my husband is dead?
Listen, I just don't understand what you're talking about. There is no evidence that Edward was murdered.
What do you mean? Those gangsters found out that Edward stole all of the discs and they killed him in retaliation.
Laura,
Don't speak to me, Matilda. These idiots killed my husband and now these losers should be ashamed of themselves for what they did.
Look, can't we at least just get on with this? We are not even sure if Edward was murdered because it could take a while for full evidence to be...
Apologies for the interruption. I only came here to inform you more about the car accident, where a paramedic was involved in. Earlier today, my colleagues and I went to the scene when we discovered a burned-down tree, as well as a burned-down car where a paramedic, identified as Edward Nelson, was inside of it, which was burned to death. We later discovered a dropped flint and steel on the ground, and it is thought that someone may have burned down the car. We are currently looking for the suspects, and then tried to track them down.
See? I told you that Edward was murdered.
I knew it. I freaking knew it. I knew that these gangsters would do this.
I swear if the David or Stephen claimed responsibility for killing one of our colleagues, the Heart Center Hospital will really be in a crisis.
Pixie?
What is it now, Dad? Can't you see we are preparing to have some fun?
Listen, you need to take a break from being entertained, okay? I have just announced plans to build another preschool in Castle Bush.
What? There is going to be another preschool in Castle Bush. How many preschools are in Castle Bush right now?
Well, I can't remember, but it's a lot of them.
So after the new preschool has finished construction, can we get to go there every day?
Not really. I don't think you are very young enough to go there because you are beginning to be a grown-up girl.
Totally!
So what have you been up to today?
Well, I was very busy working on my office and I was also discussing how the renovation of the Moldermouth Castle will continue.
What? The renovation still hasn't been finished yet? I mean, that's stupid!
Look, you don't have to be in disbelief about the castle not being fully renovated, but we need to stop talking about that for now. I'm pretty sure that the renovation could be finished.
I'm pretty sure it will.
So? Have you calmed down after the memorial service yet?
Yeah, just a bit. I mean, I'm still outraged after what Dylan has did to Chelsea, and I know Chelsea wasn't supposed to leave her home, head to the cemetery only to get kidnapped by those idiots.
Finn, look. Why do you always have to be angry about Dylan doing something vicious?
It was just an expression, Marceline. Dylan may be creepy, but he believes that he is the boss of Castle Bush when, in reality, he really isn't. And do you know what really drives me crazy?
What?
He wants to rule the world, and he also leads the ruler of the Lair Center.
So Dylan really is the ruler of the Lair Center?
Yeah, he is. He wants to teach everyone a lesson about what happens if they mess with him and his friends, and in the past, he even kidnapped a 33-year-old man over violating one of the Lair Center policies. That policy is that the kidnapped or captured person is prohibited to escape from the Lair Center without permission, and that 33-year-old man did the same too. But was rescued by police shortly after.
And how did you actually know that 33-year-old man was kidnapped in the Lair Center?
I was reading an article from the Castle Bush newsletter about the crime, so I guess that's why I said it.
Now let me get things straight. So is the Lair Center actually a sub-settlement of Castle Bush, or is it just, well, a place where Dylan and his friends live?
Personally, Marceline, I'm pretty sure it is just a place, and not a sub-settlement.
That explains it then.
William, what's the matter?
Matilda, listen, working without Edward is difficult, like, very difficult. I used to work with him every day, and Edward and I worked together to help injured people and then rushing them to the Heart Center Hospital for treatment, and now my life has been shattered after Edward's death.
Listen, you may need to calm down after this tragedy, okay? The police said that Edward was burned to death in a car by two criminals and they were not arrested as of—
Matilda, don't you realize that David has been planning to kill Edward the entire time?
What are you talking about?
Listen, I know David was to blame for killing Edward, and there has to be evidence that he was the killer.
Look, William, I just don't understand what you're talking about. I mean, do you really think that this is true, that David killed Edward?
Yes, it really is true, and he killed him in cold blood. Therefore, I accuse him of murder, and I'm gonna tell the police that they should arrest David for what he did.
Why on earth do you have to be like this, Edward? I mean, why? There is no proof that—
Shut up, please. I'm trying to tell the truth in this stupid hospital here, and I'm gonna tell everyone that David is a cold-blooded murderer. For Stephen, however, he is a cold-blood murderer too, and these men should be locked up in prison for the rest of their lives. Oh, would you look at that? Everybody is watching me arguing with you just so I can tell you the truth about Edward's murder. And you know what, Matilda? You know what? If David tries to harm me and my colleagues again, I'll kill—
William, no. I can't let you plan this again. If you really try to kill David without knowledge, it will be met with very serious consequences, and we would be in a whole lot of trouble because of you.
Oh wow, really? Do you really think that I'm trying to be a murderer just like David, huh?
Alright, that's enough. If you disrespect me again, I'm telling Laura on you. Is that understood?
Oh, hello there. I didn't know you were here. Anyway, what can I get for you?
Yes. Can I have a water bottle, please?
Sure thing. I'll get you one in a bit. Finally, Fred, where have you been?
Sorry, Bubblegum, I was walking around the street just to get some fresh air, but I'm here now. I also want to talk to you regarding something.
Why? What happened again? Is there something wrong?
Of course not. I just realized that you are the sole owner of the cafe for many years now.
Yup. Very true. I owned this bar ever since, and not long ago, we renovated it since the mayor couldn't renovate the pub due to personal reasons.
Exactly. And I have to admit that ever since we first met, we always loved each other, and I wanted to own the cafe as well, and I want to work with you every day.
So you are saying that you want to become the co-owner of the cafe?
Yes. Of course I want to own this cafe. I want to purchase a 50% share of it so I can get to work with you, and hopefully, if it all goes well, we can get to travel across the country, or even abroad, and we can even get to have fun splashing in the pool or maybe explore around the world.
Alright, it's a deal. You will become the co-owner of my cafe.
Wow, thanks. I know I would become the co-owner. I love you, Bubblegum.
I love you too, Fred.
Can you please hurry up with the order already? I'm getting very thirsty.
Alright, I'm not hesitating. Here you go.
Finally. Thanks.
Who the hell are you? Why are you here and what do you want?
Time BMO and I only came to talk to you. Can I come in?
Yeah, sure.
Huh? What's with all of these crates doing here?
Emo, look. I'm getting tired of living in my house alone. There is nothing I can do. I want to move on with my life and move out.
So you're actually moving out to live in another country, or settlement, or somewhere else?
BMO, I want to live in your house. I only want to live there because it's a peaceful place to live here and I want to have some peace around here.
You are actually going to live in my house? I mean, why do you want to do such a thing?
I told you BMO, this is a peaceful place to live here and I want to have peace here.
Well yeah, but I also want to tell you something, but be warned because what I'm about to confess will shock you. I'm your sister.
I'm sorry, what? What do you mean you're my sister?
Listen, we haven't met each other for a long time and I want to live with you. Not to mention that we don't really have your bedroom at our house, so we are gonna let you sleep each night on the couch.
Wow, I'm just shocked. I didn't know I have a sister.
It's true, William, and I'm not even kidding. Alright, I have to go. Do finish packing the stuff.
Hello. What are you doing here? Can't you see I'm preparing to go home?
Not until we need a conversation.
What about? What's the matter?
Listen. You do believe that my brother killed your husband, do you?
Absolutely. And I accuse David and Stephen of murder and I'm still angry about my husband's death, and I want justice.
The only way you can get justice is when hell freezes over. Tell me. Did you try to sabotage my brother over everything?
But I had nothing to do with your brother. I only accused him of murdering Edward, while Stephen is treating himself as a psychopath.
Shut up.
Hey, don't yell at me like that. You were trying to let everybody hear what the fuss is about.
Oh wow, you have no idea that you are trying to send my brother behind bars for believing that he is a murderer, and you will be dead for this for lying.
Listen.
Do not speak to me. My brother is going to jail for murder and I will not let this happen. And you know what? I think it would be a perfect time for you to—
Walter, no. Walter, please. Put the gun down and we'll talk.
Why? What are you going to do? Lie to me in the face?
But I'm not trying to make a lie. I'm 100% confident that David was the one that murdered Edward in a car accident, and if he does something like this again, he's really going to jail. But good.
I'm sorry.
What have you done?
I'm sorry, he had it coming.
Finally, Marceline, where have you been?
Sorry, Finn, I was very busy working at the waterfall tonight. I later gave the customer bacon pancakes because he is obsessed with it.
Now that's what the customer wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Marceline?
Yes? What is it?
Don't you think that we've been living in Castlebush for a very long time now?
Totally. We first met in a McDonald's restaurant and I was, at first, jealous of you, but I got used to it.
Yeah, and the greatest memory I have about you is that we can get to spend time together abroad for the first time, and I really loved you and trusted you at the same time.
So what does this have to do with this kind of conversation, like basically?
Alright, look. It's a bit difficult for me to explain everything, but the only thing I'm very curious about the most is that how much I love you, how long we've been living with each other, and how we lived the pain throughout the years. Remember the time when you were tortured underground? Oh my god. What did they do to her?
Is she dead? Right? Did Barbara really kill Marceline?
Yes, I do remember that moment. I was nearly killed by that crazy woman, along with her henchmen Dylan and Rylan, but you saved me although I was unconscious at the time. I also remember the time when Michael and Chelsea used to have evil brothers and sisters, both of which were disguised by Dexter and Rylan.
Exactly. Now please come closer and let me tell you something.
So what do you want to say? Is it something good or bad?
It's a life-changing one. Literally. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, let me tell you, and your life will be changed forever. Marceline, will you marry me?
You're actually proposing me?
Yes. Well, now what? Are you gonna say yes or what?
Yes. Of course I'll marry you.
Oh my God, I know you would do it. I love you, Marceline.
I love you too, Finn. I'm literally crying right now. This is the most beautiful things I have ever received in my life.